Sonal Singhal, your host of the Thrive In Perimenopause Summit. And here we are bringing to you mind-body medicines for harmonizing your hormones naturally and activating the healer within. You don't have to lose weight to be healthy. You have to be healthy to lose weight. And that includes changing certain belief systems. And to give you more idea on how to become healthy and lose weight without going for fat diets, I have brought to you an expert who has been a health and fitness coach for women for 25 years. So let's welcome Amy Sai, who is helping women over 40 navigate through hormonal and physical changes along with their weight challenges.
Well, thank you so much. Nice to be here.
Yeah, you're welcome. Amy, I'm a woman over 40. And although I can't complain of excess weight, but I would love to shed a few extra pounds from my belly. And the problem I'm facing is that I lack motivation to do anything, even dieting or say going for any small movements. So in your experience, what should I do to motivate myself?
Well, there's two parts to your question here. One is that we don't really quite understand how to utilize motivation. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes we're waiting for motivation to kick in. You're sitting on the sofa, you come home from work and you're like, oh, I should go to the gym and work out or go for a walk, but I really feel like sitting on the sofa. It's so comfortable here. I could really watch my show. And there's this little war, this little battle going on in your head. And what's really happening is that what we don't realize is all our habits or bad habits live within our body. And that's one. And two, the battle is going on between your body and your mind. Your mind's telling you should go to the gym. Your body's saying, oh, this is so comfortable sitting on the sofa. So there's this little thing going on in your head, right? And motivation kicks in when there's action. So if you're sitting there waiting for motivation, it's not going to happen. So what happens when you put action first before motivation? That's when motivation kicks in. So for example, I like to use this tool that I share with all my clients is 3, 2, 1, go. Mm-hmm. So you're sitting on the sofa and this little thing that's going on in your head, I should go, but I don't want to go. I should go. I don't want to go. If you go 3, 2, 1, go, and you get up, all of a sudden that battle is over and you don't even think about motivation. All of a sudden you're walking to your closet, getting your shoes, getting your jacket, grabbing your bag, and out the door you go. So it's really action precedes motivation. So that's really important to know.
Okay.
Right. So if you're sitting, if you're thinking, oh, I should eat healthy, but if you go 3, 2, 1, you go grab a salad, or 3, 2, 1, you go eat something. It's so action precedes motivation. So for example, here's another one that's kind of not so much fitness related, but you go to your garage and you need to clean it. And it's just like, you got a garage full or a house full or a room full of stuff that you need to clean up. Mm-hmm. You know that you've got this massive task, and every time you think about it, you're going, oh, I can't, I just don't feel like it. Mm-hmm. But if you go 3, 2, 1, and you get up and you go, I'm only going to tackle one corner, one drawer, one little thing, and you get yourself started. Next thing you know, you've cleaned up that whole room, you've cleaned out the whole garage, you've cleaned out all your drawers. So it's really action that kicks motivation in, as opposed to sitting there waiting for it. Mm-hmm. Does that help?
Yeah, I got it like this, that don't think too much and just act. And maybe use this 3, 2, 1 as mantra for doing that, So it's like a mantra you fix in your mind somewhere. Okay, so whenever you feel like lazy, okay, 3, 2, 1, get up. Yeah,
exactly. Or lying in bed is another one. You get up and you're like, oh, like especially in the wintertime. I don't know where you, but I live in Canada, so it's it gets pretty cold here in the wintertime. And you're cozy in bed, and you go, and your husband's going, don't go. And you're like, what? Of course I want to stay. I go, I got to get up, 3, 2, 1. And I get out of bed.
I like it. I will remember this mantra.
So that's a really simple tool that you can utilize immediately. And, on a deeper level is, motivation. You got to think about, like, what is it that you want out of your life? you know? So you gotta ask yourself deeper questions. You know, how is it going to make you feel if you get up and go exercise? It might not feel good right now sitting on the sofa. It might feel good at the moment sitting on the sofa,
Yeah.
but think about how you want to feel after you go do your exercise. You're going to feel invigorated. You're going to feel alive. You're going to feel better in your skin. So you have to ask yourself deeper questions. It's less about, I always call it feeling goals. Like, what do you want to feel in your body versus what do you want to weigh on your scale? Because those are short-lived. But you know, when you connect with your body on a deeper level, that can also, you know, bring about motivation, right? So if you say, I want to feel good in my body every single day because one, I want to be a good example to my children. Two, I want to live a vibrant, healthy, energetic life. And three, I want to live like I'm on top of the world every single day. Versus, oh, I got to lose 5 pounds in the next week. All of a sudden you're like, ugh, right? So the feeling goals kind of motivate you because there's meaning behind what it is that you're doing.
I think that's the right way to go for motivation. You know, if you are not having a motivation, so go for your feelings, you know, which makes you feel good. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, you know, being women, we gain weight for so many different reasons, and it mostly happens, if you notice, you know, during the periods of transition, such as pregnancy, perimenopause, or menopause. So if you see, you know, it's like, you know, a female body is always undergoing some or other type of variation. And mostly it happens due to our hormones. You can say hormones are never same, you know, they're always fluctuating. So,
Yes.
so according to you, Amy, what is that which makes it hard for women to lose weight, particularly over 40?
Probably the biggest one is self-love, lacking self-love and lacking in belief in what you deserve. In other words, so many women that I come across, I talk to women all day long, and I'm in the perimenopausal phase. I'll be 53 this year. And, you know, it's really important to accept our bodies for what it is. We change. Our bodies are changing all the time, from when we're infant to, you know, childhood to adolescent to your 20s to your 30s to your 40s and 50s and so on. It's always changing. It's not static. So we have to accept that our bodies are always changing. And so many women are not accepting their bodies change, and we have to accept it. You know, and I was telling my stepdaughter not long ago, and she was a little bit upset that she had gained some weight. And I said, look, you know what, you're going to gain and lose weight your whole entire life. And right. And you and I know we're over 40s now. If you've had children, you know, your body's change. It may or may not go back. And hormones do play a big factor in the ability to lose weight quickly as well as age. So there's all kinds of different factors. Everybody's different. Everybody's built differently. And everybody gains weight differently. Everybody loses weight differently. Everybody's situations are different. Everybody's feelings are different. And it's not a one size fits all. And that's typically what diet culture does. So, you know, we have to move like the wind, as I say. So, and being in tune with your body is really the key to weight loss. Okay. So no longer about following somebody else's food rules, not following, you know, like cutting out food groups, you know, like carbs and sugar and whatever thing people are doing these days. Intermittent fasting is big. You know, those are all temporary fixes that doesn't solve your problem long-term. So connecting with your body on a deeper level helps you lose weight. And on top of that, when you know that when you love yourself, regardless of your size, shape, weight, age, or whatever, weight loss does come easier. It does. Because think about it. When you're always thinking, I hate my thighs, I hate my thighs, I hate my stomach, I hate this, I hate that, I hate this, I hate that. Two things. One, you're not appreciating your body. Two, every time you look in the mirror, guess what you're going to see? The thing that you can't stand. right? All of a sudden, those hips and thighs are staring at you all day long, right? You put on jeans, that's all you notice, so it's really a belief system. And then when you tune into your body, you actually feel what your body needs and wants. And for a lot of women, in my experience, I would probably say at least 80% of women are completely disconnected from their body. That's why I get questions like, what should I eat to lose weight? How much exercise should I have? How much cardio should I do? Questions like that. That tells me that women are disconnected from their body, that they have no idea what is good for them, what their body needs and wants. Because the body, regardless of all our bodies want, it wants homeostasis. It wants to thrive. It wants to be happy. So when you're not, it's about tuning in and figuring out why something isn't working. And you have to tune in versus tuning out, which is what most women do.
So you mentioned about poor self-image, because like how women, they are seeing themselves in mirror. So I want to ask you, like, is it possible to lose weight just by loving yourself?
Yeah, because when you love yourself, you want to take better care of yourself. And when you want to take better care of yourself, you're listening to your body, because our bodies are always whispering. Sometimes, most times we're waiting for the thing to hit us over the head before we do anything about anything, and when you love yourself so much, you want to take good care of it. Just like if you have little children, you love your kids so much that you would care for them 24/7, high, low, up, down, whatever the life situations are. You love your children so much that you will do anything for them. Do you love yourself that much that you're willing to pay that much attention and give yourself that much loving care?
But if you ask many women, they will say yes, but actually that's not true. So how do we make sure that we love ourselves? And how do we recognize that we are not loving ourselves?
Yes, you have to. So there's one. Yes, that is a very good question. And it's really about observing your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Okay. Because this is what goes on in women's head when they eating bad food, like chips, wine, cupcakes and whatever. I call it, it's not bad food. I call it fun food, but most women call it bad food. They start like, they say, I can't believe I just ate that. I'm so bad. I now got to go work out harder tomorrow. All this bashing that's going on, this unkindness, this is how we're talking to ourselves, right? So the inner dialogue that's going on when we don't exercise when we should, eat, not allowing ourselves to eat foods that we love and enjoy because they think that it's bad. And the reality is all foods are meant to be enjoyed, and eating is one of the biggest pleasures in life. It's meant to be enjoyed, right? So all this inner bashing that's going on, what is that saying when you're talking like that to yourself? It's saying that, would you ever, oh boy, sorry. Would you ever talk like that to anyone? Would you talk like that to your children? Would you talk like that to your family? Would you talk like that to your parents? Would you talk like that to your friend? Never. So why would you speak like that to yourself? Right? So it's about recognizing what's actually going on inside your head. What are you saying to yourself about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? And what are the things that what are some things you are doing to yourself? Right? So you have to be an observer of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. And that's really the key. It's creating a level of awareness about what it is that you're doing and not doing, and understand why this is happening.
So Amy, you are teaching women over 40 how to lose weight permanently without going for diet, any special diet. I mean, I'm sure that you are saying you should eat healthy, go for healthy options. But I wonder, like, how do you achieve that? Or I mean to ask you, like, what are the tools and techniques you are adopting in your coaching program for weight loss?
Yes. So number one is meal planning. Planning everything you eat and drink, everything. And when I say planning, I mean planning for the foods that you want to eat that is going to satisfy you. okay, versus planning for the foods that you think you should be eating. Okay, forget about what you think you should be eating, because that's not going to feel satisfying. You do that for 4, that's literally another diet, right? Diet that you created for yourself. So you got to meal plan everything. Meal plan your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all your snacks, what you want to drink. If you go out to a dinner party, everything. Meal plan, meal plan, meal plan. And you can meal plan for in the morning for the day. You can meal plan 3 days in advance. You can meal plan for the whole week. It's totally up to you, because everybody's different. Maybe you're super busy and you prefer to meal plan for the week. Maybe you like to meal plan first thing in the morning, anywhere in between. That's number one. And because, and the number two is understanding, it's really creating a balance, so we all know that eating, let's say, for example, you've had eating fast food, 3 square meals a day, every day, is not going to make you feel good in your body. You're going to feel gross. You're going to feel heavy. You're going to feel low energy. We all know what that feels like. However, does that mean that you should never eat fast food because but you love it? No, it means, okay, maybe I shouldn't have 3 square meals a day. Maybe I should only have it once a week or twice a week, and creating that balance of having something that's too much or not enough, and still feeling satisfied. So it's literally a scale or a teeter-totter. I've had too much of one thing and it made me feel terrible, but I had too much salad. Now I want, potato chips and hamburgers. So it's really about like, what's going to make me feel good and feel satisfied and still have enjoyment in food and still lose weight. So that's really what it is that scale, trying to figure it out. And everybody's going to be different, because everybody's circumstances are different and everybody's bodies are different.
So what else?
What else? Incorporating physical activity. So, doing things that you love, enjoy, or feel curious about. And women, I've talked to women whose husbands are working out like a maniac downstairs with weights. And, and the lady that I was speaking to, she's like, all she does is feel bad about herself, because she has no interest in lifting weights, but she feels like she has to lift weights. It's like, you don't have to lift weights. If you don't enjoy it, what's the likelihood of you, doing it on a consistent basis? Probably never.
No, it's not.
So, so you have to do things you love. Have fun with it. Be a kid again. So, for this lady, she loves to dance. So I said, if you love dancing, go do some dancing. Is an excellent form of physical activity. So doing the things you love, enjoy, or curious about. If you have like, oh, you know what? I've always been curious about, yoga, or I've always been curious about Pilates or whatever. Or I think I would really like to try running, like playing around with different types of physical activity. But walking, and I know a lot of women love to walk, and there's nothing wrong with it. And you can lose weight with just a simple activity like walking. And so I urge people to make a list of things that they love, they enjoy, and things that might be curious about, and start incorporating those things in.
Okay. So, you talked about little bit about negative self-talk, that we are doing to ourselves. What I learned recently, that, when we are how we are continuously judging ourselves, because those judgments are actually not coming from ourselves. They originated from in somebody else, and we perceive those judgments, and then we start believing them to be our own judgment.
That's right.
And this actually leads to negative self-talk. And as you mentioned, that it can pose a major roadblock to anyone's weight loss journey. So how can we overcome this habit of self-sabotaging?
Yes, very good question. I love it. We're getting all to the nitty-gritty stuff. And so, one of the tools that I use for all my clients is we get a piece of paper, we fold it in half. You can do it on a computer, doesn't matter. And you write down, some of the things that you say to yourself. Because by the time we're 35, 90% of our life is run by habits. That includes your thoughts as well. It becomes like a tape that just keeps playing over and over and over again. So if you're doing it once, you're doing it all day long, probably, or at least multiple times in a day. So I get them to write down some of the negative things that you say to yourself about yourself. and just write it down. And I've had women cry because they can't believe that they speak to themselves this way. Like they're in tears. They're like, I would never talk to anyone like this. And I'm like, yeah. So it was a real breakthrough for some women when they see themselves talking, you know, that way to themselves. And then on the other side of the page, you write down the positive part of it. And a lot of times what we don't appreciate our life, and we don't appreciate our bodies. And we're constantly criticizing our hips and thighs and whatever, and our stomach and whatever body part you dislike, is we're not appreciating our body. Think about, you know, the age that we're all at. We're pretty darn lucky to have made it to the age that we're at. If you've given birth to children, you've got a beautiful family to show for, you know? So it's really about appreciating what you have. So if you've got a stomach, or you've got stretch marks or whatever from giving birth, it's like, you know what? These stretch marks, I gave four children. I've got four beautiful children that I absolutely love. You know, so start appreciating. So writing down the positive. And then from there, let's say you've got a list of 5 or 10. You've got like a big list and you're like, okay, where do I even begin? So I get women to number them. Okay. Biggest pain point, number 1, and work your way down. Okay. 1 to 10. And then you number it again, easiest win to the hardest. So now you've got 2 number 1s, one that is the biggest pain point that causes you the most amount of emotional pain, and the one that you can conquer today, that you think it's easy to overcome. And you can pick one, or you can pick either number 1s to work with. And every time that thought comes to your mind, and sometimes at the beginning it's probably the hardest. Sometimes you catch it, sometimes you don't. But every time you catch it, I used to always say, erase that thought and then say the positive affirmation to reverse it, the reverse of the positive part of it. And every time I do it, I say these things and over again. And eventually that negative pattern disappears and you move on to number 2, number 3, and work your way down. And then when you do that, you begin to create a level of awareness of why you're talking this way about yourself. And like you said, it's cultural. You know, we're women, and we're a global community now. And, you know, think about the conversations we talk the same way, you know, right? So it doesn't even, some of that language might not even belong to you, that you've just adopted it because you think that it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. So you're talking about, it's, you know, so you can overcome negative self-talk by reframing. What your
that's
thoughts
exactly
are.
right.
So whatever negative thoughts they are writing, and you are helping them reframe those and using them as affirmations.
Exactly. And this stuff takes time. Think about how long you've been saying these things to yourself for. If you've been saying these things to yourself for years or decades, it's going to take some time, and you really need to be patient. Just like, you know, you have your 3-year-old son or daughter that, you know, that's growing up. You have to have that level of patience with yourself. You have to have the same patience with others that you have to have for yourself.
So treat yourself as you are a little child, or maybe it's like going back to your inner child and consoling that inner child.
Exactly. You are absolutely right. That is absolutely true.
Okay. So, Amy, one other tool you mentioned that you use with your clients for permanent weight loss, that is mirror work.
Yes. Okay. So there's one other one is, you know, oftentimes the reason why women are gaining weight, one is hormones for sure, but 2 is emotional eating. Like basically we're eating when we're not hungry, right? So we're reaching for food when we're not hungry. So 2 questions to ask. One is, you know, I've got signs all over my kitchen. Says,
really?
Am I hungry? I got sticky notes on my fridge. It says, am I hungry? You gotta stop yourself. Hey, am I hungry? I'm not hungry, but I want it. Okay, well, why do I want it? So it's all about asking yourself questions. So asking yourself if I'm hungry is number 1. 2 is, what am I feeling? Because a lot of times emotional eating is basically, you know, there's an emotion that you're feeling that you don't want to feel. So what you do instead is you put food down your mouth, right? So ask yourself, am I hungry? If it's no, well, what am I feeling? Okay, I'm feeling stressed at work because my boss has just dumped a whole bunch of work on my plate, or whatever it may be, or my children are driving me bananas, or my husband's driving me bananas. Like, you just got to ask yourself questions. So that's what I mean by you have to be an observer of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So stopping yourself, like, wait a minute, 5 seconds, stop, and ask yourself these questions. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't reach for that food, because you have to create a level of awareness and you need to give yourself time. So I've had people tell me, I did stop, I did ask, but I still grabbed the food. I said, that's okay. It's okay. You might do that 5, 10, 20 more times before you go, okay, now I'm like, okay, this is going on too long. I need to get to the bottom of this. What am I feeling? Why am I not dealing with this? What is going on?
So, Amy, I have noted, that sometimes I have eaten food and I should not be, hungry at all, but still I feel hungry, and I feel, my brain is hungry, not my stomach.
Ah, interesting. Okay, let's go down this road here. What do you mean by brain is hungry? What do you mean by that?
I feel like, the flow of blood is not there much in my brain, and I feel fatigued, and I feel like, I should eat something, but my stomach is full.
Ah, so what do you think it is that you need then?
I feel I need some fruit like orange maybe there,
okay,
to nourish me and to give me more energy. I need more energetic food, which is not, which my stomach doesn't want, but my brain needs.
Right. Do you think that maybe some deep breathing would help, or going outside and getting some fresh air, or drinking some water perhaps?
No, because I drink a lot of water. Yeah,
you drink a lot of water. Yeah, so maybe it's just something light, something punchy in your mouth, to kind of, maybe a little bit of sugar is what your brain is wanting.
Okay, I can try that also,
Yeah,
just cheating with my brain, okay, here you go, take a little bit of this. Be happy.
Because I have had a lot of women tell me that they realize that they're not hungry, but what they are is thirsty. So women have told me that before in the past, but you're saying you drink a lot of water.
I drink, but the water maybe doesn't have that much of minerals, because water quality makes a big difference. If somebody's drinking from spring water, they are living near to falls or a spring. So, they don't feel that much of thirst as compared to people who are living in city.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. That's very interesting. I've never heard anybody say that to me before, that their brain is hungry. I was like, oh, hungry for food. So you're looking for energy, your brain looking for energy food for your brain. Yeah. So maybe a little bit of sugar,
or maybe a little bit of salt, or maybe buttermilk, maybe buttermilk, something like that. Yeah.
That's interesting. I would be curious to know what you figure out.
Okay, I'll update you. I have a discussion like this with anybody, but yeah, so I will try sugar, or maybe a little bit of salt. I will do 2-3 different trials, and I'll let you know.
Right, because you do live in a hot place, so maybe it is salt.
Possible.
Yeah.
And water is the culprit, because I have read some books and they are saying you are not hungry, but actually you are thirsty.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have had women tell me that before, that they're thirsty. Yeah.
So, Amy, let me share the good news with our audience that you're going to share your 50-minute deep dive coaching call as part of the VIP package of this summit. And in case you decide to upgrade your experience, let's check with Amy what she's giving us. So
yes. So yes. Okay. So if you upgrade to the VIP, you get a free coaching call where we figure out what your block is that's causing you to have difficulty losing the weight. Because a lot of times there are blocks within us that's making it hard to lose weight. And it's really important to get to the root cause of the weight gain or why it's difficult to lose, right? And it's not necessarily calories out. It's often something a little bit deeper. And when you get to the root cause of why you have this weight gain or difficulty losing weight, you never have to lose weight again, right? You've dealt with it once and it's over. Unless like a diet where it's like you lose weight, then you come off the diet, you gain weight, and it's just this perpetual hamster wheel that you go on. When you get rid of the root cause, it's dealt with and it's done. And that's what the 50-minute coaching call is for.
So it's like conquering your mental blocks or overcoming your mental blocks.
Yes, exactly.
So before I proceed to next question, a quick reminder for anyone who is listening. Don't forget to check out the link below this video. And there in that link, you can see all the valuable offers given by our amazing speakers for free as part of our Summit's VIP package. And before I say bye-bye to Amy, would you like to give some last piece of advice to our women audience to help them live their best life?
Yes. You know, the best advice is just to just relax. And, you know, women get so caught up in thinking that they have to do more, be more, do more, be more to lose the weight. It's actually in the complete opposite. When you're stressing and worrying and stressing and worrying, what that basically is saying is that that you don't have the belief that you can lose the weight that you want. So when you relax, all those little whispers that your body is telling you, start to hear them. And when you hear them, you want to, you actually want to listen to it because it's you, it's how you want to feel. So it's less about doing more and more about doing less, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, it makes sense. Pay attention. I mean, how would you pay attention to your body? You need to relax and then listen.
And listen, exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you so much for having me here. Good luck, ladies. Enjoy the summit.
Thank you. And I really enjoyed our meaningful conversation on all the issues, you know, which are really meaningful for a lot of women out there. Thank you, Amy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.